sunny, but there's actually a lot of large clouds blocking the sunlight in various spots. And with that in mind, what's going on today? I read this at first. I was thinking it was a new drone from Skydio, but apparently it's an update in terms of features. This one here says, drone photography just got easier thanks to Skydio autonomy. So what's going on here? It basically relates to features, for example, like their KeyFrame before, where they were pitching it as something anyone could use to capture very cinematic footage. For example, I guess boomerang effects, like those type of things. Here it says, introducing panorama and keyframe gimbal row. At Skydio, we're redefining how people use drones thanks to the best-in-class autonomy software, allowing Skydio pilots to become even more productive, creative, and safe. Today, Skydio is announcing a series of groundbreaking features and improvements which provide storytellers, from first-time pilots to seasoned professionals, creative tools which could only come from Skydio. These updates will be released via the Skydio app later this month. And of course, they show you all these fancy videos of these features in effect, horizontal modes, spherical, and so forth. Will this actually make it a lot easier for a lot of people? I bet it will. Is that enough to get people to use this instead of, I guess, other products? Usually for me, when I'm thinking of an autonomous drone, that's actually the first company that comes to mind. I guess their marketing and stuff works in that sense. I've never used their products personally yet anyways. I know in recent times, a lot of talk about this company had to do with things like them making things like drones for military purposes and all that. Could this be a sign that they're trying to, again, focus on the consumer market? Funny enough, watching this video too, when they say coming soon at first, I thought that was supposed to be like a little teaser saying a Skydio 3 is coming out or something like that. But either way, they're trying to make their mark again. I wonder if a lot of US companies are simply holding off because of those remote ID laws that are going in place in the US. That would make sense anyways, where if they did, like this company, release a Skydio 3, it would have all those features. And for larger drones, I guess this was a first in an area. This one says, Jordan conducts its first drone delivery and inspection flights. This is definitely not a recreational drone. It says the Jordan Defense and Development Bureau said in a statement on Tuesday that the firm and Deep Element, a Jordanian company specializing in the design, development, and integration of US solutions, carried out the first test flights jointly. The drone delivery was conducted from Jordan Armed Forces' newly launched test site for unmanned aerial systems, the first such test site in the Middle East. During the drone delivery test, a Jordanian-made fixed-wing VTOL drone successfully delivered a 2-kilogram payload of medical supplies from the test site to a targeted location 4 kilometers away from Harave Castle, southwest of the Azraq wetlands. One of those every country trying to beat each other when it comes to things like drone tech and all that too, I suppose. And then I was reading this at first, I was wondering what's going on here. Apparently there was some controversy where there's a labor dispute in terms of pay, I guess, when it comes to education workers. And the government's reaction is to somehow, I guess, legislate it law-wise that they must go to work and this and that. And it's creating so much controversy where the workers are saying they're going to, I guess, go on strike anyways. Like this one says what? CUPE education workers plan walkout Friday. Contract negotiations between the Ontario government and the Canadian Union of Public Employees have become heated, with the union pledging to walk off the job Friday. The union represents 55,000 education workers, including early childhood educators, custodians, and librarians. This week, the union leaders have promised workers would walk off the job Friday despite promised legislation that would ban strikes. That sounds kind of crazy. So just reading a little bit more about it, this one says, Ontario's use of notwithstanding clause in dispute with a union, a Pandora's box, expert says. The Ontario government's move to force school support staff to stay at work by using the heavy hammer of the notwithstanding clause would have a huge repercussions in labor relations, experts say. If the public is sympathetic to the government in this case, then the government's actions will have set a significant precedence for years to come. Education Minister Stephen List introduced legislation Monday afternoon to avert a looming strike and impose a 4-year contract on about 55,000 education workers, including librarians, custodians, and early childhood educators, but not teachers. And as it indicates here, essentially if this went through, then every day the person goes on strike, they'll be charged $4,000. Is this one of those situations kind of like this year with that Emergencies Act, for example, where a lot of people felt this was completely unnecessary, but it's kind of like them saying, hey, we can do it, so why not? In regards to that, I know there's a lot of investigations now where it's turning out to be the case where it didn't seem like it was justified for them to use it, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But with stories like these, I think this year one of the theme is the government's gone too far, huh? In terms of trying to use the law to force people to do things. Alright, see you guys later.